Back in on the dongle. Yeah, that's it. No worries. Okay. All good. Thank you. Cheers. Hello again to our online listeners. You will have temporarily lost me. I was just trying something else with connections, but we should be good now for the rest of the evening, God willing. Thanks, a few thumbs up just letting us know that we're back. Graham Whitehead, Mike Brown, hopefully you can hear us again as well. I appreciate you lost us, that was deliberate. We just dialed down just to try something else. Always trying to make sure that we've got the best and most reliable connections to bring you the commentary. We are 8 minutes away from kick-off here at the EBB. Just finalising preparations for commentary. Steve Gibbs and myself, Rob Worrell, will be fully with you in the next couple of minutes. Good evening to Colin Hayden, hearing us loud and clear in Tenerife. Got to be 3 points tonight, surely, question mark.
Bassi will be either on front or right, won't he?
Yeah, I mean, you've got Roberts and Bassi who will go wide. They'll be right mostly. Bassi can play left or middle, but mostly on right. Yeah, I think there's a couple of players out of position left. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bassi is a right wing back, Owen is the left wing back, Evans is left wing back, Sassy, Davis, and Whelan are three.
Yeah.
I haven't played that formation much, but who knows? I'll keep an eye on it as the game starts.
Alive and kicking, coming out over the PA system here at the EBB. Can only mean one thing: We're expecting some teams very shortly for our National League commentary this evening from the EBB Stadium. Aldershot Town against AFC Fylde. The Shot starting the night 15th, Fylde 22nd. A very good evening, I'm Rob Worrell, alongside me is Steve Gibbs. And here come our teams for this evening's National League match between Aldershot Town in 15th place and AFC Fylde 22nd at the start of play. The Shots are in their home kit of red and blue striped shirts, red shorts and red socks, and Fylde are in an all-white kit this evening. It's going to confirm the AFC Fylde captain, not shown on the team sheet actually, so we'll have to look out for the armband. I'll get Steve Gibbs on the case for that. A number of changes to your Aldershot Town team this evening. 5 to be precise. They'll line up as follows. Marcus Dewhurst in goal, Luca Woodhouse, Levi Lang and Dan Ellis in the back three, Kai Corbett, Keane Anderson, Theo Widrington, Aaron Jones and Henry in some sort of positions across the middle, and we think Max Mullins and Kwame Thomas up front for the Shot. It's a pretty cold and fresh, sunny evening in North East Hampshire. Floodlights burning now brighter than the sun that's dropped away behind the community stand away to our right. The Shots are in a huddle and Fylde are all ready to go. Looks like Nick Horton is in the centre circle and ready to get things underway. He has a little bit of history against the Shots. Wonderful performance up at Mill Farm earlier in the season. A couple of goals and assists. Goal from within his own half. And we get ready for kick-off this evening with the Shots attacking the community stand at the High Street end in the first half. And it does look initially as if Kai Corbett will be more on the left and Henry sat behind Mullins and Thomas. We'll get confirmation of that as we get underway, and we'll also try and get a clearer picture of the AFC Fylde formation. They line up as follows: Ben Winterburn, Dan Sassy, Owen Evans, Harry Davis, Ethan Mitchell, Nick Horton, John Oosterbassi, Will Hugill, Corey Whelan, Gavin Massey and Tyler Roberts. Nick Horton's going to get us underway once referee Elliot Swallow blows his whistle. 11 games in the National League, 45 yellows and 3 reds this season, all of them second yellows. Immediately Horton plays the ball back to Harry Davis. It's sent down the right hand side for Fylde and it will go all the way through to Marcus Dewhurst in goal. A very good evening to our guest summariser this evening. He's always the guest summariser unless he's away on holiday somewhere here at the EBB, the former Shots media manager Steve Gibbs. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening. A very interesting match in prospect. The Shots looking to bounce back from a humbling 4-0 defeat on the road on Saturday. Fylde still with realistic but perhaps fading hopes of escaping the relegation zone they've picked up recently under new managership, and yeah, both teams will be looking for the 3 points this evening. It should be a fascinating contest.
There's a ball through the middle from Roberts and it's sent out to the right hand side where Horton's going to pick it up. He's going to try something as he here from the edge of the area. He goes left then right, he's into the penalty area and the ball's taken off him. Wonderful talent that he is, Nick Horton. So many options available to him there, and the one that he didn't go for that I thought he would as the ball sat up lovely was to go straight for the lob.
Yeah, I mean Nick Horton knows better than either of us, but yeah, for me he took the wrong option.
Here's Luca Woodhouse picking the ball up on the edge of the Shots back three. It's cleared forward, and then Ethan Mitchell almost picks it up, but it's nicked off him again, and Theo Whittington sends it out to the right-hand side. Aaron Jones takes the ball down, goes back to Levi Lang. First time ball from him. Down the right-hand side is sent very cleverly down by Corey Whelan, who is then played the ball inside to Ethan Mitchell, who sent it down the left, and it'll just run out of play on the left-hand side. Any thoughts already yet, Steve, as to whether Fylde are playing a back three or a back five?
It's a back
4 or 5.
It's a back 4. Dan Sassy, a centre back mostly. His last start against Sutton a couple of weeks ago was at right back, so it's not necessarily an altogether unfamiliar position for him. Probably not his best or favoured position, but needs must. And then the centre backs are 4 Harry Davis and 17 Corey Whelan, with Owen Evans, the number 3, fulfilling that traditional left back slot as befitting the number on his back.
Yeah, we do like to be in the know as far as the opposition formation. Unfortunately, we've not been able to find anybody from the Fylde media team here this evening just to give us a heads up on that, so we're piecing it together as we go, but certainly we're all good with the back 4. Here's a ball spread down the left hand side, and who does that come off? It comes off of Oostabassi. Horton looks very advanced to me this evening, Steve. Perhaps more advanced than we've seen him play against Aldershot in the past. Yeah,
I think he is the nominal striker. I think you'd probably call it a false 9 in the modern footballing parlance. Fylde have packed midfield. I think essentially it's a 4-5-1, and they're hoping to win that midfield battle.
Here's Will Hugill picking the ball up, going out to the right hand side. Cross is going to come in from the right here, and it's picked up, the loose ball by Oostabassi. He feeds a teammate, but Aldershot managed to prod it forward, and then it's going to be sent back down the right channel by Harry Davis, but that will bounce into touch. They've got about 5 false 9s out there at the moment, Steve. It's really hard to pick the Fylde formation, because Tyler Roberts, Nick Horton, Gav Massey and Oostabassi are all very, very advanced, and Will Hugill's not far behind them.
No, and I think that fluidity will count in Fylde's favour this evening. Certainly in the early stages, Horton has been the most advanced and most central, but absolutely you look at probably Oostabassi, Massey, Roberts. They're all capable of breaking forward, scoring goals from deep, and troubling defences. So Aldershot Town will need to be on their mettle. That midfield will need to maybe look between the lines, and then that Aldershot Town defence will need to step out and track its runners.
For the benefit of our radio listeners, Steve was filling a little bit there because we were waiting for another ball. It had to be sent over to the far side. Here's Woodhouse heading it forward. Henry heading it on into the path of Kai Corbett, who sends it down the left channel. Fylde have won it, cleared it into touch, throw into Aldershot just inside their own half. The shot skipper Aaron Jones has just come over to explain or discuss something with his manager. Here's Henry spreading the ball out to the right hand side to find Levi Lang, who sends it forward straight to Gavin Massey, who definitely scored an excellent goal against the Shots up at Mill Farm in that 5 at the start of the season. Funny side in terms of their form, really. Fylde, they looked at times like they would be one of the more likely from the bottom 4 to escape it, but such has been the form of some others of late, particularly Boston, that they can't quite pull themselves clear. 1-0 defeat at Yeovil at the weekend. Levi Lang has lent in a little bit too heavily there on Tyler Roberts, and Fylde have got just what they would want as Nick Horton literally pushes Ethan Mitchell away and says, don't even think about taking a quick one because I'm going to take this. Yeah. And he's got a free kick already in almost position A. The referee's turned his back. Nick Horton's quite just rolled it forward a yard. Why not?
As you would.
If the ref's not looking. So it's pretty much position A for any right-footed player, certainly one of the quality of Nick Horton. Up he steps, and he misses the target, which for Aldershot Town supporters is a rare sight, Steve. He nearly always saves his best stuff for the shots.
Yeah, that was always bending away from the angle of the near angle of post and bar as Nick Horton looked at it, as we looked at it. We, fortunately or unfortunately, would have had the perfect view had it arrowed into the top corner, but fortunately for the shots, it was an early sighter for Horton. His best is probably yet to come.
Here's a ball forward, one in the air by Harry Davis, sent back by Ellison, back in the centre of the shots. Back three tonight. Levi Lang is playing on the right side of the three. The ball's in touch in front of Stephen I in the media box here. Evans immediately steals a few yards. Ref says that's okay as long as you don't come any further, but you watch him go further when he takes it. He's going to be almost on halfway when he does. Plays it up to Massey, and Lang's in behind him. Roberts picks up the ball, goes back to Owen Evans. Evans lifts it forward. Good battle between Jones and Massey. Roberts picks up the ball, sends it to Evans. He's up against Aaron Jones, looking to make room for a cross. Back to Tyler Roberts. He's going to shoot. And, it ended up being more of a cross in the end than a shot, but it was driven. And a Fylde player jumped, trying to make contact with it. Ustabasi it was. And he couldn't. It's behind the goal, away to our left. Goal kick to the shots. Look, let's address the elephant in the room, Steve. Aldershot have been in good form of late. They've got up to 50 points with 20 in March. It's got them close to safety. And Tommy Widrington's been relentless about the next game's the most important one. There's a heavy touch from Theo Widrington, and he's been dispossessed. He's won it back though, really well. Well done, Theo. And now he comes out to the right hand side, just protects it, plays it down. It's cut out by Ethan Mitchell. He picks the ball up, goes in through Roberts. Horton's picked it up on the edge of the area, plays it in, goes for a 1-2, goes down on the edge of the box. The referee played advantage, and then Fylde were unable to make it count. They might have preferred the free kick. Here's Woodhouse threading the ball to Mullins, who's foraging down the left hand side. He's up against Sassy. Comes back now to Keane Anderson. He lifts the ball over the top, looking for Kwame Thomas. He heads it down, finds Henry. Henry plays it back into Thomas. Thomas looks to give it back to him. The first 1-2 was very good. The second one was marginally inaccurate, but good idea between the two, linking up for the first time, really, of course, because Henry was pretty much off when Thomas came on Saturday, and of course Thomas was here last season and Henry wasn't. Throw into the shots on the left side. Theo Widrington into Henry. Henry to Corbett. Early cross comes in. Oh, the goalkeeper stumbles just as he was going to take a routine catch, Ben Winterbottom. Thankfully for him and for Fylde, he regained his balance and was able to catch it cleanly. Steve, the scoreboard's not working. I make it there about 9 minutes in. No doubt you've got your stopwatch on as well.
10 minutes now.
10 minutes now. Thank you very much. 0-0. Balls in the air for the benefit of our radio listeners. One in the air by Ellison, helped on by Corbett, chased down by Mullins, who's going up against Harry Davis on the left side. Now he's cutting back and finds Theo Widrington. Widrington sends it back out to Corbett. He's offside. Free kick to Fylde. And with your thoughts on those opening 10.5 minutes now, 0-0, Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, I think Fylde have started the better team. They've looked dangerous, really fluid in attack. Aldershot Town, a couple of promising moments. Really interesting to see James Henry in support of Kwame Thomas up front. The shots may be going a little bit more direct this evening, but that could really be to James Henry's advantage if he can find those pockets of space. Kwame is clearly one of the best aerial strikers in this division, or potentially anyway, and if he can get a few nod downs, Henry will prosper.
Very good evening to Big Tony Shots, to Mike Winfield and to Gina Ballston, and of course Ellie. All have messaged in to say that they're listening, and Ellie's having another late night. Gina, she loves Tuesdays, doesn't she? I think it's the 7th or 8th consecutive Saturday Tuesday for the Shots. Here's Owen Evans clearing his lines. It's going to come back from Luca Woodhouse, and then it's prodded forward by Dan Sassy, and now picked up by Fylde in the centre of midfield. Massey running forward. He's got Evans away to his left, and we'll come on to the Fylde situation when we get the next little stoppage in play. Lang a little bit overzealous there, but gets away with it. Aaron Jones picks up the loose ball. Now it's played in and picked up by Tyler Roberts. Roberts finds Owen Evans. Evans gives it back to him. Number of players in the box. If they can get it across. Massey's got it, edge of the box, tries a shot from distance. It's a really good one. Swerved in the air and was well watched and well saved by Marcus Dewhurst away to his left, and he's gone down a little bit uncomfortably as a result of that. Wonderful effort from Massey. Like Horton, he's got a history against the shots from this season. You fancy this evening. Corner to Fylde, and over to you, Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, it was a good save from Marcus, and Massey does seem to have a good habit of late of forcing errors from goalkeepers from long range shots. He scored a couple of times recently from distance against Hartlepool and Altrincham. Both of the times the goalkeeper, you could say, was at fault, but is it the goalkeeper at fault, or is it an excellent swerving drive from the striker? Marcus Dewhurst did well.
In comes the corner underneath the bar, prodded towards goal, snaffled initially by Dewhurst, and then he got away from him and went behind for a corner, another corner to Fylde. The second consecutive one. They're asking some early questions of the Shots defence here. That's no surprise, I'm sure, to anybody looking on, because there's wanting to win games of football and needing to win games of football, and Fylde are in that position.
They are.
We're into the last 6 or 7 games now, and into the silly season, and the bottom 4, bottom 6 clubs picking up points here, there and everywhere. In comes the corner, headed on and away by Ellison, and it will be kept in over on the far side by Dan Sassy, who's well forward. Cleared into touch by Aldershot, and another throw to Fylde. I don't think anyone in the Aldershot camp will be surprised that Fylde are coming here and they're on the front foot from the start, because that's exactly what they need to do.
They absolutely do, yeah. Yeah, that silly season, they're well into it. They've thrown away 2 games recently late, 90 plus 6 minutes on Saturday against Yeovil, 2 late goals in the previous game against Sutton. In between that, they beat Forest Green Rovers 3-0. Will the real AFC Fylde please stand up? Yeah,
here they are trying to make their way into the right hand side of the penalty area, and a sharp turn, and a shot comes in just over the bar from the Fylde number 15, Will Hugill. Yeah, and well, if Aldershot needed any reminders about how determined to get on the front foot and attack tonight Fylde are, they've certainly been given them in this opening 15 minutes, Steve.
They absolutely have. They've started brilliantly. Maybe they will feel that they should be ahead, because their goal scoring in...
Here's a flick on by the other end, sorry.
That's all right. Their goal scoring in away games is pretty polarised.
Right, Kai Corbett's been pulled over, and now Aldershot have a free kick in position A.
Yep.
Steve, exactly the same position at the other end that Horton took his from, and Corbett, who was fouled, wants the free kick. James Henry has it in his hands, and I don't think he wants to let it go, and I think you can never hear what's being said, but you can read into the body language. Corbett tried the "I was fouled, so I want the free kick," and Will Henry.
Yeah, Henry's pulling seniority rank here. And we've got 2 of the best attacking midfielders in the division here, Nick Horton and James Henry. They won't be thinking like this, but it is a bit of a battle of the number 10s.
Corbett's still there, interested. He does take it, and it comes off a Fylde player in the wall and goes behind for a corner to the shot. So there we go. Our hands up. I read the body language all wrong, or it was a trick. It was a trick.
I suspect it probably was, yes.
Either way, it's a corner for Shots, their first of the evening, and Corbett has had the first effort towards goal, deflected behind off the wall. Henry and Corbett are out there for the corner. Henry plays it in short to Corbett. Corbett sends it in to the far post. It's headed down and away by Harry Davis. It's going to come back in now from Keane Anderson. Runners to the far side, but nobody can get there. It drifts out of play through the corridor of uncertainty and out of the other end, through the escape hatch. Goal kick to Fylde, and 16, 17 minutes gone, is it? And still the scoreboard stuck on 7:43, unfortunately.
Yeah, approaching the end of the 17th minute.
More importantly, 0-0.
Yes, 0-0, but again, I think Fylde will feel that perhaps they could have been ahead. Their goals in away games, they've scored 6 in the first half an hour of a game, but then they've only scored another 6 in the remaining hour. Conceded 4 in the first 30 minutes, 35 in the second and final third of games. They really need to be ahead early on here if they've got a chance of winning this game. Otherwise, the longer the game goes on, the opposition will create chances.
It's interesting. I did the same research, came up with a slightly different take on it. They have conceded all season just 26 goals in the first half of games, but 45 goals in the second half of games. What do those stats mean coming into the game? Absolutely nothing, of course. They're just for us that like to string together the sequences, really. I don't think any player that's ever out there fully committed on the football pitch is ever thinking about those kind of stats. Here's Mullins battling away for a ball up against the Fylde number 17, Corey Whelan.
But those sort of stats, they're too pronounced to just be a coincidence.
Absolutely.
You'd think that it would go into the manager's thinking in their game plan. How they communicate that to the players might be slightly more subtle.
Here's Lang sending it forward. Kwame Thomas flicks it on. Mullins was interested but couldn't get there. Theo Widrington gets a foot in and then wins the ball back in a 40-60 situation. Got to give him the full credit there. Here's Ellison spraying it down the right hand side. That's into the channel on the right, and it will drift away behind the goal. It's been a scrappy start to the game for the Shots. They've not been able to set into any of their usual rhythm, Stephen. That's largely because Fylde have come with a plan, with a little bit of chaos, dare I say. I think it's the modern word in football. I think they're very fluid and very hard to pick up their exact formation. They're trying to trouble Aldershot at the back so much that Aldershot have got to kind of work their way forward slightly differently to how they normally do, I think.
Yeah, I think you've got the back four. You've got Ethan Mitchell, who's sat as the defensive midfielder, and then the other, what does that equate to? 5 players? They've just been told to get forward and wreak havoc.
Absolutely.
I think there's no point dying wondering at this stage. If Fylde come away from here thinking, oh, that was a hard-fought draw, it doesn't really count for much. Individual points are not what they need. They need to start picking up threes.
Absolutely. His Shots in possession in their own half as Tyler Roberts comes to shut down Aaron Jones, and he goes back to Levi Lang. Lang inside to Ellison. And now Lang is going to send a ball down the right channel. It'll bounce once, and the keeper should come to the edge of his area and claim it. He does indeed. A few shout outs while we've got the ball in the goalkeeper's hands. Good evening to Lindsay Morrish, and he sends his best wishes to all fellow strays listening worldwide. Here's Aaron Jones very nearly shutting down Owen Evans, and then Owen Evans rides another challenge from James Henry. He bombs on over halfway into the Aldershot half. Massey picks it up. He's raking his way across the edge of the area. Horton has a touch that goes behind him, and the ball's picked up now on the right hand side, and Fylde in to the penalty area. They pull it back. Shot comes in from Ustabasi, saved by the legs of Dewhurst, and cannons away out to the left side for a throw in. And you talk about the chaos of that front 5. I think 4 of them have had an effort on goal already.
Yeah, that was yet again another good work from Marcus Dewhurst, not just blocking the ball but making sure that it didn't drop to a gratefully waiting on-rushing Fylde attacker. Yeah, the visitors have definitely started this game the better.
Shots making 5 changes this evening. The bench is Van Stappershurf, Hargreaves, Barrett, Ryan Jones, Jack Barham, Armitage and Uwakwe. 5 regular starters. Shots get it, clear it away, only as far as Tyler Roberts. Roberts now working his way down the right, and Ustabasi will be in down by the touchline, but the ball has run out of play. It will be a goal kick to the Shots. We've touched on it several times already. Fylde need wins, they need goals, and whilst I'm absolutely sure they'll respect Aldershot's recent form of late, they know that even when Aldershot are playing well and creating chances and scoring goals, they do tend to concede them. So it would be the perfect game plan for the opposition tonight to come and roll the dice and
absolutely
and play an open game and see if they can prevail. They play it forward now. Ball's chested down by Ellison, helped on by Levi Lang, and bounces over Tommy Whittington's head into touch. And we're now 22 and a half minutes in, so nearly halfway through the first half. 0-0. Evans throws the ball in. Keane Anderson prods it forward, comes back to him, heads it forward, and then Owen Evans goes in on Aaron Jones, and the foul's been given against Aaron Jones. I think it's because Jones was going with his foot and Evans with his head. Yeah. And they were both quite brave, I thought, if I'm honest. But
they were, I think, rightly so. I don't think any more than that. Perhaps a yellow card at absolute most.
I think it'd be really unlucky, even the free kick. But the referee's having a word with Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
he's trying to stay calm.
I think Aaron's foot was maybe high and perhaps a little bit aggressive. Yes, Evans was ducking his head, but
and he is going to book him as well.
Yeah, I think maybe that's perhaps a little bit unnecessary, but the referee had a side-on view of that, whereas we were slightly behind.
I'll tell you why, for the benefit of the Fylde supporters. I mean, any Fylde supporters listening will no doubt be watching as well on the NLTV. You will have your own opinions of it, I'm sure. Steve and I always call it honesty. For me, in the moment, Aaron Jones was always going to go for that with his feet. What Evans did was he went storming in with his head at the last minute. It was kind of his decision to put his head in there rather than Jones coming through and catching him. That's how I saw it anyway. But referee, who had a calm word with Jones, who stayed calm himself, eventually decided to show the yellow card, and I think that was harsh. But here's Whelan, sent it forward. I think in that instance, I think you can understand why the referee was concerned for the player and his head, but I think a free kick would have been enough because Aaron Jones was in possession of the ball and it bounced up high. Yeah. He was always going to put his foot there for it.
Yeah, the one thing that I can think of, having not had the benefit of a replay, was that the movement of Aaron's foot was rather aggressive, and I think maybe the referee felt that was endangering his opponent.
In comes the throw, chested back by Massey, and now Roberts goes up against Aaron Jones, goes back to Massey. Massey's going up against Henry, tries to get his cross in, it's caught comfortably by Marcus Dewhurst. Gary Michael D says, good evening Rob, exiled tonight as now living on Hailing Island. Is Max Mullins bouncing away for a loose ball, and eventually the keeper comes and claims it, and the referee just wants to make sure that Mullins is okay, and he gets up to his haunches. Gary Michael D, evening Rob, exiled tonight as I'm now living on Hailing Island. Hope tonight is not a case of before the Lord Mayor's show. That's not really a saying, but I think we get what you mean.
With 5 pretty much guaranteed starters on the subs bench, I think, and he'll probably deny it, I think Tommy Woodrington also has one eye on Saturday.
That's for sure.
It's definitely a rotated squad.
Yeah, good evening to David Miles listening in Saudi, to Baz, Jill, Chloe and Alfie Wattham up in Sheffield. They're looking forward to Saturday, and also Guy Owen enjoying the commentary. Part of the Stray Shots now, watching from Burnley. Good evening to you, Guy. Here come the shots with Kwame Thomas. Mullins heads it into the path of Thomas again, and it's cleared away by Corey Whelan into touch, and the Shots looking to respond a little bit. No doubt that Horton, Massey, Hugill and Ustabasi's 4 efforts have been the more dangerous for Fylde so far. But here's a ball in, missed by Kwame Thomas, helped back in by Aaron Jones, and now cleared away by Ethan Mitchell, headed back by Luca Woodhouse, missed by a Fylde player, and then cleared forward by Dan Sassy into touch in and around halfway. And 26 minutes gone now, 0-0 here at the EBB, in a game that both sides would like to win. Fylde perhaps more need to win. As for Aldershot, well, I guess the most important thing they need to do is come through the evening unscathed and get what they can out of it. Here's Aaron Jones, goes back to Theo Widrington. He's shut down by Massey. Massey comes through a little bit late, and the free kick is given against him. Free kick only to Aldershot, just a yard or so inside the Fylde half. Theo Widrington's just taken a moment or two to get to his feet. He's got his arm over his face at the moment, and he is now sitting up. Looks as if he's okay. He is indeed. He doesn't need treatment. Levi Lang's going to take the free kick, and he's going to hang it up towards Kwame Thomas, who gets the flick on, and then it's one in the air by Fylde, but comes out to James Henry. It pops up and he hits it on the half volley. It's always going over the bar, slightly wide as well, but probably the nearest the shots have come, Steve, in this opening 28 minutes.
Yeah, in the end he had to rush it. I think James Henry sensed Evans' presence and had to take it early. In the end, couldn't quite control it, sliced it wide, but yeah, it's among the best efforts that the shots have had this evening, and there's not been many of them.
Here's head tennis on halfway. Hugill involved. Goes back to Sassy. Sassy sends it forward down the right hand side. Luca Woodhouse has got plenty of time to just decide what he wants to do. He goes back to Marcus Dewhurst, who's made a couple of saves in the opening half of the first half. You might have expected him to make, but he made them anyway. There's a flick on from Mullins towards Henry, headed back again from Theo Widrington. The ball bounces into the path of James Henry. Henry found again by Theo Widrington, just turns back to Levi Lang. Lang to Theo Widrington. He goes forward quickly, and Fylde go all the way forward to Marcus Dewhurst, who clears it forward. It'll be one in the air by Hugill, but Mullins now protects it, and he's dragged to the ground by Hugill. Pretty cynical, that one, and the referee, let's see if he shows yellow here, Steve, or just does a word. He doesn't do either. No yellow, no word. And yeah, and a lot of refs would have given a yellow for that cynical foul.
It was cynical. It was subtle, but it was cynical.
Corbett sending a ball in, headed clear, only as far as Aaron Jones. He's edged out of the way. Massey picks it up, and Henry comes back into the fray, plays it back off Massey. Lang pokes it forward. Mitchell with the outside of his right foot prods it forward into a bit of space where that's a coming together there between Ellison and Tyler Roberts. Ellison got all of the ball and a little bit of Roberts as well. Roberts is okay, he's getting up to his feet, and there's no quarter being given. I don't think there's any way that Aldershot could approach this match half-heartedly, and I'm not saying they are either. They just couldn't, because Fylde want and need the points so badly, and we'd have a complete and utter mismatch if the shots weren't up for it.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's even if you've got players this evening that are thinking, I can't get injured before Saturday. If you go in half-hearted, as every lower level Saturday, Sunday league player, pub player knows, that's when you do get injured if you're not fully committed.
There's Keane Anderson clearing his lines, forward down the right hand side. Max Mullins chasing it, gets a little flick on, he'll chase his own touch, it'll run out of play, and it will be a goal kick to Fylde. Aldershot might have to be, with Fylde so attracted to the other end tonight, they might have to be a little bit direct at times to try and catch Fylde with one man less at the back, particularly I guess as the game goes on. It's definitely a night to play it smartly, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, and I think remember that the game lasts 90-95 minutes, that you can't win the game early on, but as long as you stay in it, and Fylde have started well, and they will feel that they probably should be ahead by now on weight of chances and balance of possession, but Aldershot Town know that their opportunities will come. It may not come in the first half or even early in the second, but they've got to stay patient.
Here's Keane Anderson finding Levi Lang just inside the Fylde half, gives it back to Keane Anderson, and now Keane Anderson going to try and send the ball out to the left hand side. It's a good ball and it's taken down nicely by Kai Corbett, gets it onto his right foot, back onto his left, and he shows a little trick and a skill, loses it, and then he's knocked over, and it's over on the left hand side. It'll be a free kick to the Shots. Good evening to Greg Thornett. He said apologies if you've already covered this, but is Tyler Frost injured? I understand that Tyler Frost did have a little knock, which is why he didn't travel up to Rochdale. I have no idea on how he's recovering. He's not in the match squad tonight. I don't know the full extent of it, but I suspect he's got a chance for being involved on Saturday. But obviously it was too early for him tonight.
Yeah, I suspect you've got Cameron Hargreaves on the bench, you've got Ryan Jones on the bench, and that probably covers some or all of Tyler's best positions in central midfield and wing back. If there's any doubt of him, you don't want to risk him this evening.
Here's Henry taking the free kick out on the left, short to Keane Anderson. He's now going to send it into the heart of the area, knocked down and across by Kwame Thomas, sent back in, headed out, coming together on the edge of the area. Theo Widdrington sends it out to the to the right hand side where Woodhouse is. Woodhouse is up against Ethan Mitchell. Mitchell protects it, plays it forward, finds Massey. Massey has got Aaron Jones with him. He goes back to Mitchell, who pumps it forward. It's headed back in by Keane Anderson, forward by Hugill. And crazy game going on in League One, where it's already Crawley 2, Peterborough United 2. And here's Corbett taking down a ball well on the left hand side. Anderson sends it back for Henry to chase. Henry is offside, which gives me the opportunity to tell you that in the massive game at the bottom between Wealdstone and Boston, who are either side of that relegation line tonight, Wealdstone have struck first through Ruben Reid, who I didn't even know was there. He must have signed on.
When did that happen?
Unless it's a mistake and it's Alex Reid, that's all I can think of. But according to the app, it says Ruben Reid. And it is Woking 0, Rochdale 1. Rochdale have taken the lead just before before the half-hour mark. Rochdale so impressive against the Shots on Saturday, and Woking won't know whether to stick or twist tonight because they're desperate for points as well, and they're also part of that very big game here on Friday. Horton goes down a little bit too easily as far as the referee is concerned, but the ball's spread out to the left hand side. Owen Evans is chasing it. He'll come back, will he, to Tyler Roberts. In fact, it's well read by Theo Widdrington, who prods it into touch. It's taken quickly to find Gav Massey, and back in touch again. This time the throw is also Fylde's. Evans is there ready to take it. Good evening to Stuart Griffiths, who's listening but was probably texting the Woking scoreline as I gave it out. Here's Tyler Roberts, edge of the area. He's going to try a shot from distance, and it's well covered by Dewhurst towards his right hand post, and he deflects it behind for another corner. That's Hugill's second sighter of the evening. We are 25 minutes in here at the EBB, and I beg your pardon, 35 minutes in, and another corner to Fylde.
Yeah, another good save from Marcus Dewhurst. It was bouncing dangerously in front of him, and a little moment of admin. It looks like it's Alex Reid who will have scored for Wealdstone.
In comes a corner, headed down and away by Ellison. He's fouled as he's doing so. Yeah, it's the live score app that's given it to Ruben Reid, but yeah, as soon as I realised it was a Reid, it was bound to be Alex, and it could well be the goals of Reid that might keep Wealdstone safe. It could be the goals of Nick Horton that might keep Fylde safe. That's always the hope, isn't it? And one of the reasons why finally I think I'm coming round to the idea that it might finally be curtains in the National League for Maidenhead, because I just don't think they have the striking power this year. Mikulski and Abrahams have got around about 10-11 goals each, but probably not the potency that Fylde and Wealdstone will have. and Woking will just get one too many draws, I would imagine. Here's Henry sending the ball out to Corbett on the right side. He's approaching the edge of the area. He's now been dispossessed. Fylde hunting in pack there, 3 of them there were, and Ustabasi comes away with it, finds Hugill comes together with Corbett. The ball's in touch, and it'll be, in fact the referee might have given a free kick there as he for the foul by Corbett, and Dan Sassy coming forward to take it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that both Aldershot and Woking have continued to replenish their squads. I'm sure they will say, and with justification, that it's with the punishing league programme ahead as well, but I think there's probably at least half an eye on Saturday and wanting as many options and as strong and deep a squad as possible to get them over the line and get them to the Arch in North London.
It's a very, very inventive way of not saying the word beginning with W that we don't like talking about. I mean, we
can mention it at 9:30 this evening, maybe
9:35, 9:40 probably, yeah, something like that. It was Devante Rodney who's put Rochdale ahead at Woking. That doesn't surprise me, having witnessed a supreme performance from him on Saturday where he scored twice. Coming back into the side. So 37 minutes gone here, 8 till half time, and Fylde, who've not tended to score, as you say, too many first half goals, but have certainly had the more chances here. Hugill with 2 efforts, he's driven one over and had one saved. Ustabasi has had one saved by the legs of Dewhurst. Massey's had one turned behind, and Horton's fired a free kick over. Here's Aaron Jones finding Keane Anderson. Aldershot trying to find some calm amongst the chaos. Anderson with the ball down the right channel, being chased by Mullins. Again, too much on it, and it runs away behind the goal, away to our right, and it will be a goal kick to Fylde. Just trying to work out what Max Mullins was signalling, because he was doing the rolling as if it was make a substitution sign, but I think he was making a different point.
Yeah,
and he's making it to the players at the back who were sending the ball forward.
Yeah, I think it was a good ball, overhit, but yeah, Mullins did well to break in behind and was, in the end, was not too far from getting on the end of it.
Good hold-up play from Gavin Massey, feet Tyler Roberts on the left side. He's coming across the area now, and he'll find Horton, who'll pick it up, make a channel on his left, and he has a go, and he literally can hit the target with either foot from either side. He had a clear plan there, and he looks disappointed with himself, but again the shot wasn't too far wide, and another warning shot from the visitors.
Yeah, I think the fact that Marcus Dewhurst was rooted to the spot as the ball flew inches wide of that post told everything. I think Horton has every right to be disappointed. He should have got that on target, and he'd worked enough space that probably he'll feel he should have scored.
Good ball from Keane Anderson, cutting out possession and feeding it out to Corbett on the right hand side. He's dragged it one way, then back. Henry's got it, shot deflected up and into the goal, and up against it for much of the half. The Shots take the lead in the 41st minute, and the goal scorer is James Henry. Celebrations in front of the North Stand. Henry edges a goal closer to Josh Barrett. The Shots take the lead, Steve, with not too many minutes before half time.
No, just 5 minutes before the end of the first half, and that's so unfortunate on AFC Fylde. They've had the lion's share of the play, the lion's share of the chances. They've looked by far the more dangerous team, not taken those chances, and then Kai Corbett does superbly well, sending at least one defender for a hot dog, putting him on his backside as he stepped inside, fed Henry, shot good, goal bound, but it needed a deflection to loop over Winterbottom, and them's the breaks when you're down the bottom of the table. Unfortunately, Fylde do not deserve to be behind, but they are.
Here's Gav Massey cutting away to the right hand side, and the ball's cleared away by Keane Anderson. interestingly, although he's not always been able to find a teammate, Keane Anderson's been really well positioned and cleared pressure away from Aldershot a few times tonight, and he started that move with a first time ball out to Corbett on the left side. Corbett, as you said, threw a few lollipops or hot dogs or whatever you want to call them before sending the ball into the area where James Henry quickly got it under control and then managed to fire his shot towards the goal. There's no doubt there was a deflection on it that took it up and over the goalkeeper. The kind of luck that Aldershot weren't getting in this earlier in the season, and Fylde will feel they're probably not getting through any of it. Here's Ethan Mitchell racing onto a ball on the edge of the area. He's been well tracked by James Henry. He's nicked the ball off him as well. Henry then runs out of pitch. He feels he's fouled. Nothing given. Throw in taken quickly by Fylde. And I want to give two bits of credit to Fylde. One is the way they've attacked this first half, and two, the way there's absolutely nothing in their body language at all that's changed. Now they've conceded. They're straight on the front foot and going at it again, and their attitude has been exemplary.
Yeah, absolutely, first class. You would not know. I mean, it's that old cliche. If you take the goal out of a highlights reel, you'd think, well, Fylde must be winning. But yeah, they know that they can't let their shoulders drop. They can't let their mentality change. They've got to keep going until the 95th, 96th minute.
Excellent header from Theo Widging midfield. It's headed on by Mullins, but he can only head it straight through to Winterbottom in goal. Here's a hold-up play from Tyler Roberts. Foul given against him, just inside Fylde's own half. Massey retrieves the ball and sends it inside. The game being played at a tempo which for me is quicker than the quality that either side can play with. It's almost a desperate tempo. Here's Horton holding up the ball on the edge of the area, twisting, turning, going one way then the other, looks to feed it in to Roberts, but Aldershot get on it. It's prodded forward and Massey picks it up, and then Keane Anderson sends a ball again deep into the other half, and it will go through to the goalkeeper, but again he's just momentarily at least relieved the pressure against the shots. This game is nothing in its flow like any of the games we've seen recently. It's a chaotic game. Ellison heading it out to the left, to the right hand side. It'll find touch, throw in to the Shots, who lead going into the 45th minute, but Fylde still on the attack. Evans gets the ball back now. Roberts picks it up. He tries to get past Levi Lang. Lang brings him down. Free kick to Fylde out on the left hand side. This time it's left of the penalty area. And I've said it a few times in recent games, Stephen. I'm going to have to say it again. Lang is so desperate to try and win the ball sometimes that he gives fouls away, a la Cody Lyons Foster back in the day.
Yeah, I think so. I think perhaps there's also a little bit of ring rustiness as well. He hadn't played much football before being thrown in for his Aldershot Town debut. You think the quality is there, the pedigree is there. I think maybe he needs to relax a little bit and, as you say, not look so desperate to impress or to win that ball. Sometimes making sure that the opposition don't win it is just as important, as the fourth official shows a big bright red 2.
In comes the free kick. It's headed into the wall, headed back in, cleared away by Aaron Jones. Huge clearance up in the air. Hugill bounces and looks for it, bounces again, and then Mullins almost gets a touch. Anderson sends it forward for Corbett to chase. He's just onside, send another ball over. Aldershot with a lot of bodies forward. Anderson prods it out to the right hand side to James Henry. It's got an overlapping run from Aaron Jones, looks to send it in, is cut out by Tyler Roberts, and it'll be a throw in to the Shots, and we're into the second of those 2 added minutes at the end of the first half. A chaotic first half in which Aldershot have stayed in the game under a tirade of pressure from Fylde and then got themselves a goal in the 5 minutes preceding the end. That was a lovely bit of skill from Keane Anderson to send it forward, and then goes down, and he's still fighting, squares it across, and the keeper snaffled it. But excellent play from the Shots youngster, and he now sprints back into position and Fylde player out short from the back. Owen Evans to Ethan Mitchell, as you say, the one deep lying midfield player. In front of him, everything going on is chaos. Lang goes into the back of a player and stops either of them getting it, and then it's prodded away from Nick Horton. Henry's got it now. He'll go back to Aaron Jones. Jones tries a little bit of skill up against Horton. Horton fights back, and the ball comes off of Aaron Jones into touch. Good work there from Nick Horton to turn over the possession. We are almost on halfway now, and Owen Evans is going to take the free kick and the throw in, I beg your pardon. Is it back to Massey, and there is the half-time whistle, and excited and perhaps a little surprised applause from the North Stand, because no doubt Fylde have been the more potent in attack, but crucially it's the Shots who've scored the only goal of the game, and it's James Henry who's got it. Shots 1, Fylde 0 at half time. Steve Gibbs, try and sum that up.
Yeah, I think you've done a good job there, actually. I think Fylde have enjoyed probably more possession, more chances, the better quality chances, come up against Marcus Dewhurst in strong form. But the one stat that's jumping out at me at the moment, in away games where Fylde have conceded first, and they've done that in 15 of their 19 away games, they've lost 13 of them. They've won 1 and drawn 1, but lost 13 of 15 when conceding first on their travels. You'd have to think that Aldershot Town would feel confident, and justifiably confident, in extending that losing run. But also, if Fylde can keep creating chances, another stat jumps out at me. Of all the teams, in terms of chance conversion by the opposition, Aldershot Town have the lowest ratio between shots per goal conceded than any other team in the National League. They're the easiest team to score against in terms of number of chances created. You'd have to think that if Fylde keep creating the quality of chances they have been, they will get something. And if Aldershot Town, if it's still 1-0 as we go into the final quarter of this game, Fylde will feel that they can snatch something from here. Whether a point is good enough is another matter entirely, and probably a moot point. For me, it wouldn't be enough. But in the isolation of this game, they can certainly feel that they've got enough attacking prowess to trouble this Shots defence and to register on the score sheet.
The Fylde fans. Sorry, I forgot the microphone. Excuse me. The Fylde fans probably won't want to hear these stats, but for the sake of the Shots fans listening, they've only got a 29% equalising rate all season, home or away, when they've gone behind. They have just won the 3 away games all season, and they've now conceded in their 20th consecutive away game, which pretty much spans the season, doesn't it? All of that, though, up against desperate to score goals, to get a point or 3 tonight. Aldershot, there probably aren't many teams that have kept less clean sheets than Aldershot in the National League this season. They tend to need to score 2 or more to win a game, and that's what will give Fylde's fans some hope. As for the rest of us looking on, well, I think we're just doing our best to enjoy the chaos and hoping that everybody comes through it. I have to say, every player out there is fully committed. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Anybody that very lazily might have suggested otherwise. A very good evening, by the way, to Ricky Pugs Cope, listening up in Bonnie, Scotland. Be great to see you on Saturday. Don't forget your £1 coins. Here we're obviously coming to help Carl Gladman do what he used to do for many, many years. Best wishes from Pugs. Glad you're coming down for it, Pugs, and I would have expected nothing less of you, especially as I know you didn't manage to make the return of the Strays event. But come and see us, come and say hello on Saturday.
I'm sure we'll hear him before we see him.
We normally do hear him before we see him. Good point. For those who like to follow the fortunes of former Aldershot Town players. I can tell you that Lauren Tollage has scored tonight for Bradford, for Port Vale against Bradford. They're 2-0 up. But closer to home, it is Woking 0, Rochdale 1 at half-time. Devante Rodney's goal separates the sides. And Wealdstone 1, Boston 0. Alex Reid, not Ruben, with the goal. So 1-0 in all three National League games, albeit 0-1 in the Woking one. One other thought before we take a little break ourselves, Steve. With Aldershot having rested, if that's the right word, rested 5 of their regular starters to the bench tonight. Those players, of course, are all available to come on. They're match tuned. They might appreciate 20-30 minutes just to keep going through the gears before Saturday. And as in a different way to normal, Tommy Widrington has got some good finishers to call upon.
He absolutely has. I mean, he always has some options from the bench, but certainly, you look at if Fylde do get back into this game, you only have to look at Barrett, Ryan Jones, Jack Barham as match winners who he can bring on from the bench, and certainly that they may appreciate a few minutes just to keep the tanks topped up, but not too much, so that they're ready and raring to go on Saturday. And I keep wanting to say Saturday afternoon, Saturday lunchtime.
Yeah, if you're gonna listen in or watch, I think we've now got stream on NLTV as well. £9.99 if you want it. Please make a note that it's a 12:30 kick-off. If you're going to be listening, you can listen. Even if you're struggling to find the commentary link, you can listen live to BBC Radio Surrey on Saturday. They'll be coming here from 12:03, 27 minutes before kick-off. We will be producing a live radio show right the way through to the finish, whatever that is a finish of, 90 minutes, penalties, whatever it is, and some post-match stuff, all live on the radio as well on Saturday. And then we'll hand over to the Sussex side of the Surrey and Sussex partnership, and they'll take you through Brighton and Crystal Palace's game, which is another
2 fantastic local derbies.
Local derbies, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
what
it.
An afternoon of football awaits.
All right, so that's it from me and Steve at half-time. We'll be back with you in whatever's left, 6-7 minutes of half-time. Shots won, Fylde 0 at the break.
Good sport. So that's about it. Thank you. Back to you, Craig.
Thank you, Paul. So Aldershot Town's next fixture, as Paul mentioned, is coming Saturday when we face Woking in the semi-final of the Isuzu FA Trophy. Kick-off is at 12:30 and all tickets...
Sorry about that. No, that's all right. For some reason, because this is a sound effects microphone, your conversation was going on there.
It was on the radio.
And then on Saturday, the 12th of April, we travel to at 3 o'clock.
Listen,
Our recent fixtures see us home Saturday United on Good Friday.
We gave up when using the other system, the dial.
Easter Monday, both kicking off at 3 o'clock. And for those of you who can't be here on Saturday, the Woking game will be live streamed and it can be purchased by on the official club website.
your struggle. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with it. I've been in contact with Andrew showing me the scoreboard is all first. We shut it all down. Look at it doing now. Yeah. Oh, it was. Going flashing green. I'm not sure who it is, but it's probably Louis knows. Louis. He knows. What a fashion.
Yeah, we rely on that for one of our sources of commentary. So we're down to Fylde.
They're desperate for a win off.
Nothing to affect their body. But they're going to get more desperate. So I think even if they get done, they're going to be so post-match we've been briefed. I went for two people to die. You want to do this players talking about Saturday? Yeah. Team's aware of that. So we'll see whether we get a player or not. I don't know. I think I'll just try and get Tommy and then maybe ask him if
Yeah, I mean,
the other possibility is if you're welcome to do it if you want to, you don't have to, there's no pressure to.
The Saturday Trouble are running coaches to our fourth away game at George 6 and 5. The park time for George 6, which is of course this year's 4th game, is 8 o'clock and there is £47 for members and £60 for non-members. For Barnet, the coach park service is 11:15 and the cost is £27 for members and £30 for non-members. To book a place on either of those trips, please email shotsawaytravel@gmail.com. Please note that the away travel team will not be running the coach to the Woking game on Easter Monday.
Just can be are you rushing off, or do you want to do it tonight? I don't mind. I mean, it's been the thing that you've done it midweek, so it doesn't really matter. Don't mind. I'm happy to step up to my responsibilities and do it.
I'll let you take you in essence. Are you driving?
Not driving tonight. I'm on the train. 10:04, hopefully. We're not behind the disaster.
No, I don't think so. I tried to be kind Oh, absolutely. No, they weren't that side. No, they've got to. Yeah, I don't don't think Fylde will start anyway. He's got, like, he might be on the bench. No, I mean, if all things are reasonable, I think in that sort of game we go for experience. Yeah. Jones. Yeah. I think the centre back is Jones. I think it's a fairly easy team to watch. No, I think
Welcome back to the EBB, where the teams and the referee are out and ready for the second half. Shots won, Fylde 0, the half-time scoreline. See any evidence of any half-time substitutions from either side. The Shots will have kick-off and they'll be kicking towards the East Bank end in their red and blue striped shirts, red shorts and red socks, Fylde in all white. James Henry's going to take kick-off, and the Shots line up as follows: Dewhurst in goal, Luca Woodhouse, Dan Ellison and Levi Lang the back three, Corbett, Anderson, Widrington and Aaron Jones across the middle, Henry supporting Mullins and Kwame Thomas in attack. And it was indeed James Henry who put the Shots ahead just before half-time. Ellison clearing the ball forward, picked up by Luca Woodhouse, who sends it out to Kai Corbett. Corbett goes back to Woodhouse and he's shut down quickly by Ustabasi. He sends it into touch, throw in to the Shots. 3 games this evening in the National League, and they're all 1-0 at half-time. Rochdale 1-0 up at Woking, and Wealdstone beating Boston by 1-0. Off the ball, Will Hugill has just gone down. Fylde have taken the throw. It's hooked forward. Ellison tries to win it in front of Horton. Horton sends it out to the right side, but it's well read by Luca Woodhouse, who sends it into touch. You would have heard it bouncing on the North Stand roof above us. And Steve, how far into the second? Oh, just over a minute, right? That's okay.
1 minute 15 seconds.
We have got an issue tonight with the scoreboard, which I rely on too much. So now we're going to go with Steve's timer. Now, here's a corner already to Fylde. A minute and a half into the second half. Shots won, Fylde 0. Nick Horton's going to take. And incidentally, Will Hugill just running away from it now. Corbett coming with him. Ball floated into the far post. Ellison gets a slight flicked header on it. It's going to drift towards touch. And Corey Whelan's up there, keeps it in play. And Fylde breaking their way through on the left side. I think it might be Tyler Roberts. He's into the penalty area. He's going to the byline, and the referee is going to show him a yellow card for simulation. Tyler Roberts going down. Any thoughts from you, Steve?
My initial reaction was that's a penalty, but thinking back about it in my head, I think Roberts left his foot dangling, initiated contact, and there probably wasn't any. that I think his fall was more theatrical than would have been necessary even at that pace.
All right, well, referee Elliot Swallow decided it was a foul. It wasn't a foul, sorry, it was simulation, and he showed yellow. And now 15 yards inside the Fylde half, Aldershot Town have won a free kick. Fylde supporters over on the far side in the south stand that have made the journey. I think it's probably around 20 of them. Here's Theo Widgerton with the free kick in towards Lang. He helps it on, but it's cleared away. Aaron Jones does well to get there first, and now he'll swing through and volley it forward. It's controlled nicely by Woodhouse. He'll send it forward. Mullins looks for the flick on. Henry's onto it. He goes down. Nothing given there either. And Owen Evans will send it down the left for that man Tyler Roberts to chase. He's now running one-on-one against Levi Lang. He's going to the penalty area. He goes forward, throws himself forward. It's cleared away into touch for a throw-in to Fylde, who are not going to let up here in their pursuit of whatever they can possibly get from this evening's game. Here's a ball cleared forward to Roberts. Holds it up. He's got Lang behind him, just jockeying him at the moment. The cross comes in. It's flicked away. Picked up on the edge of the area. Shot is dragged low by Fylde, cleared away by Luca Woodhouse up towards Mullins, who's holding it up, turning one way then the other. Dan Sassy comes away with it, sends the ball out to the left. Theo Widgerton almost cuts it out. It's not just Lauren Tolach, the ex-Shots players amongst the goals tonight. Josh Stokes has now scored a penalty for Cambridge against Wrexham. Here's the ball out to the right hand side to Ustabasi, drives it across, and an effort towards goal from Hugill. Deflects up off an Aldershot Town defender and away behind the goal, away to our right for another corner to Fylde, and I think that might be their fifth of the game. Steve, you're not doing the stats tonight, are you?
My stats table is not in operation, I'm afraid. But
I've just put a gate on the bar, or a bar on the gate, whatever it's called. So yeah, Nick Horton to take, right-footed, and headed away at the near post by Keane Anderson. Kai Corbett comes short to control it and just hold the ball up. Plays it down the line, straight to Ustabasi. He's running towards the edge of the penalty area. Flicks it past his man, looks to square it across. Shot, swing and a miss, and then cleared away by Theo Widrington. And it was Corey Whelan up from the back who had a swing and a miss there inside the penalty area. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, really good play from Fylde, apart from that final shot, and you probably really don't want it to fall to number 17, Corey Whelan, although centre back can play as a number 10, does have good ball skills, but you couldn't see it there.
Here's Fylde building on the left. They've run out of pitch. It's a throw in to the Shots, and we are now 6 minutes into the second half, so 51 minutes completed. Aldershot Town 1, AFC Fylde 0. Fylde, as we mentioned before, been a bit of a bogey side for the Shots in certainly recent games, having scored 5 up at Mill Farm against the Shots and 5 here in their resurgence towards the latter end of last season. Here's Ustabasi picking up the ball, but it's been well cut out by Theo Widrington. He then sends it out almost to a Fylde player, but Corbett does well and he wins it. Sends the ball over the top. That's spinning viciously. Sent back in from Fylde, and Luca Woodhouse will volley it into the path of Ustabasi. Ustabasi continues his run forward, and the ball continues its momentum forward all the way through to Marcus Dewhurst. Lindsay Morrish is watching on NLTV, and I guess he saw a replay of that Tyler Roberts moment, said there wasn't any contact. Here's Corbett feeding the ball to James Henry, who sends it back to him. Now he tries to switch it back onto his right foot. He's down, the ball's prodded into touch. Two coming together between the two players. Referee says don't get involved. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving, and I think the referee's just very sensibly going to let them get on with it, but it was more like rutting stags, wasn't it? Nothing more.
It was, yeah. It was a little bit of naughtiness from the Fylde defender, who I haven't yet identified, but yeah, I think ultimately the right decision by the ref.
Luca Woodhouse sends in a long ranging ball. Thomas jumps, can't get onto it. Aaron Jones does. Just inside the edge of the penalty, goes back to Keane Anderson. He sends it across, and Ethan Mitchell, a header behind his own goal for a corner. And it was a rather unusual one, that, wasn't it? I guess he knew what he was doing.
Well, I think you're giving him the benefit of the doubt there. And a benefit that I'm not entirely sure he deserves. I think there was a Fylde defender swinging wildly, and then Mitchell got his head to it, and in the end, yeah, it was all just skidding past Winterbottom's left-hand post. The upshot is, and the only thing we can be sure of, is that Aldershot Town have a corner.
You certainly have. James Henry is out there ready to take it. He's got Corbett with him if he wants to go short. Does look as if he's going to send it in. A little bit of a bust-up queue forming towards the far side of the penalty area. Henry steps forward and does send it in low. There's a little flick on, the ball's running loose. Woodhouse is in a chase and he gets there first, goes back to Keane Anderson. He's going to clip the ball back in. Ellison heads it across the goal. There's an offside flag up and it will be a free kick to Fylde on the edge of their own area. I mean, my question to you, Steve Gibbs, is what are the odds of there not being any more goals in this football match? They've got to be so slim, haven't they? Or so high.
You would think so, yes. But I think given the if nothing else, the defensive frailties of both of these teams, you think that there will be more chances. Whether or not they're taken is another thing.
Here's Corbett driving a low ball forward, first time. Mullins sends it back to Keane Anderson. Henry can't chase it because he's from an offside position, but Mullins chases it anyway, and it's cleared forward by Fylde. Woodhouse pushing into the back of Oosterbasi. It's sent back via Harry Davis to the goalkeeper Winterbottom, and then bounces awkwardly, and Horton picks it up on his chest. It's poked out to the left hand side, and Fylde into the penalty area, and a great challenge from Keane Anderson takes the ball clean off Tyler Roberts. Well done, young man.
Brilliant tackle. I thought Roberts was through there. He had the ball on his left foot, keeping it out of Keane Anderson's reach, but clean, strong in the tackle, had to be clean, won it superbly. Brilliant.
Shots now coming forward. Mullins heads it into the path of Corbett, who exchanges passes with Theo Widrington, and now he's going up against Hugill. He's getting it onto his right foot, sends a deep cross into the far side. Not good, knocked down by Kwame Thomas, but immediately cleared away. Headed back in by Keane Anderson. He's doing a lot of work either end of the pitch. Cleared away again. Theo Widrington tries a little chipped ball out to the left, and Fylde now come away with the ball with Massey. He sends it to Roberts over on the far side, and Roberts goes back to Owen Evans. Run down the left, Oosterbasi chases. Will he keep it in? He does keep it in. Cross comes in, caught by Marcus Dewhurst, and he will now throw it out to Kai Corbett, who can make a little bit of ground before he's shut down by Hugill. Sends it inside to Keane Anderson, who's foraging forward now. Lovely ball out to the left to Mullins, and a desperate lunge from Harry Davis, but he connected cleanly with the ball, and he needed to connect with the ball there. If he lunged like that and caught the player, that
he'd
could
have been in trouble.
He'd have been in trouble, didn't he? But fair play to him, made a clean contact. Ball's in touch again for the benefit of our radio listeners. We do have online listeners, a lot of them every week, so apologies to our NLTV viewers if you feel we're over commentating on the action. We've got to paint the pictures for those who can only listen. Here's Levi Lang cushioning the header into the path of Aaron Jones. He's got Henry on the outside of him. He cuts inside, plays the ball back to Keane Anderson, who sweeps it immediately out to the left side where Corbett picks it up. He sends the ball in. Nice looking left footed ball, but it's easy for Winterbottom to snaffle.
Too easy.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Too close to the goalkeeper, and it was made to look worse by the fact there was no Aldershot Town attacker bearing down on goal trying to put the keeper under pressure.
Exactly that. We're now 12 and a half minutes into the second half. It's still Aldershot Town 1, Fylde 0. Aaron Jones, 15-20 yards inside the Fylde half, picks up possession. Theo Whittington spreads it out to the left, where Corbett might be able to go one-on-one. He twists one way, then the other. He's getting to the byline, comes back onto his left foot, then his right, squares it across, parried away and hooked away. Sent back in by Theo Widrington, chested down by Mullins. He chases his own pass, gets a foot on it. He's caught late by the Fylde player, and the Fylde players come off worse. The ball's in touch. It will be a Fylde throw, and can't quite see the number on the back of his shirt, Steve, to see who it is.
I can't, but it was a full-blooded challenge.
I think it might be Sassy, but I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah, both players were fully committed there, and in the end, I think Sassy, if it is Sassy, he's probably hurt himself that he went in so strongly on Maxi Mullins, but hopefully he'll be able to continue.
Official attendance is 1,460, which includes 23 visiting supporters.
Well, there you go. I guessed at 20 Fylde fans. There's 23 in a crowd of 1,460, which is very low for the EBB. Somewhat understandable with the number of home games and the big one that's coming up on Saturday. But so far, in front of one of the smaller crowds of the season, the Shots battling bravely on in a game in which, people might have wondered if they had the stomach for the fight, but they've had it.
Oh, they absolutely have, no doubt about that, and they've had to. But credit to those 23 Fylde fans. If they went to Yeovil as well on Saturday, by the time they stagger through their front doors at 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever it'll be, they'll have done over 1,000 miles in 4 days. Huge credit to those Fylde fans in adversity, through the metaphorical or literal wind and rain. Credit to the club.
It was Dan Sassy, by the way, that's received treatment and now has to go off and wait 30 seconds before coming back on. We're around about the hour mark in all three National League games this evening, and the scoreline remains 1-0 in all of them. 1-0 to the Shots here against Fylde, 1-0 to Wealdstone against Boston, and 1-0 to Rochdale at Woking. Throw in here to Fylde, halfway inside their own half. Throw up to halfway. Woodhouse heads the ball forward. It's headed on by Henry. And then Kwame Thomas bravely sticks his head in, takes a foul, and Aldershot will have a free kick and an opportunity to send it up towards him. I think the big man's relishing getting so much pitch time. He hasn't had an awful lot, has he, at Ebbsfleet, and he probably thought coming back here he might get a few 5-10 minute appearances from the bench, but he's ended up playing the whole of the second half at Rochdale on Saturday, and the hour or so we've had here.
Yeah, he's got a manager who appreciates him and understands him, and I think for a player like Kwame Thomas that means a lot.
In comes the free kick, the knockdown into the path of Tyler Roberts. He's going up against Henry. Henry does well, goes to ground, and he has been beaten, and here come Fylde down the left hand side. Great tackle, Levi Lang. Full credit where it's due, timed that superbly. Lovely ball from Theo Widrington down the right hand side to find Henry. Henry pulls it back and it's cleared away off the outstretched foot of a Fylde defender. They pick it up on the left hand side. I think that's Evans scurrying forward. He finds Massey. Again it's cut out by Levi Lang. Anderson with a charging run forward has just barged off the ball fairly, shoulder barge according to the referee, and now Whelan's picked it up. And he's finding Ethan Mitchell in a deep defensive position there. Levi Lang again up for the header. Heads it on. There's a reach behind him from Aaron Jones. And he's been reached behind to the hamstring area there, Steve. And that's not what we want to see.
No, if I didn't see the reach, but considering the position he's in now, on his knees, his head in the turf, and he's feeling the back of his right thigh. Hopefully that is just a precaution. He is up, he's limping, he's hobbling and hopping,
and we better hope that is cramp rather than a hamstring issue.
I mean,
if there's any doubt at all,
get him off.
It needs to come off. There's a little bit of movement on the shots bench. I think it's just players coming back from their warm-up, Hargreaves and Barham. Seems to be okay at the moment. Aaron Jones. Shot here from distance from Ustabasi. For those of you listening, probably by the jeers that followed it, you can tell where it went, but he skewed it up wide and high, and it'll be a goal kick to the shots when we get going. And Aaron Jones looks to be all right, Steve, and I guess the more cynical might wonder if he's faking something there, but he literally was hopping around and feeling the back of his leg, and it was a little bit worrying from a shots point of view. Don't want to lose the skipper before Saturday's crucial FA Trophy game.
No, but yeah, he's moving freely. He's back being the leader that this team knows him for, cajoling others, encouraging others. But yeah, a worrying couple of seconds.
But he's up, doesn't look too concerned, and he seems to be moving freely again now as Woodhouse goes back to Dewhurst. Dewhurst sends it forward looking for Thomas. Thomas gets the flick on. Mullins gets another touch. Henry picks the loose ball up. Sees Aaron Jones bursting forward on the right hand side into space. He looks to get past his man, but he's outwitted by a combination of two of them, and then Keane Anderson comes over, smashes the ball out of the ground towards the railway line, and it catches a high hanging branch and just stays in and bouncing around on the open slab. Worthy of mention, really. Just what a terrific athletic effort Keane Anderson has put in this evening. I don't think he can be involved on Saturday. I'm pretty sure he's already played in the FA Trophy on loan for Havant and Waterlooville. He's given his absolute all to the cause, to the team tonight. Here he is almost winning it again, but Mitchell's got it, threads the ball out to the left hand side, finds Massey sends it forward, and Tyler Roberts is going up against Lang. Lang positions himself well. He's had a really good 5 or 10 minutes, Levi Lang, perhaps his best in a shot shirt. Ball up to Henry, can't take it cleanly. Ethan Mitchell's got it again, plays it into the path of Hugill to Owen Evans. Owen Evans coming forward, Max Mullins is into the back of him, and referee Elliot Swallow says free kick to Fylde over on the left hand side, level with Steve and I here in the media box, some 15-20 yards inside the Aldershot town half. Horton goes over to take.
Yeah, Roberts has been a tricky customer for Fylde this evening down that left hand side. Looked dangerous, sometimes more a danger to himself, but Lang did really well.
Woodhouse back there gets his head on it. I think his was last, and it will go behind for Fylde's 6th corner of the evening. Shots 1, Fylde 0 if you've joined us late. Chaotic game. Fylde on the front foot from the word go. Tested Dewhurst a couple of times, had 3 or 4 other efforts as well, but they trail, and in comes the ball, headed away at the near post by who else? Keane Anderson. He's been everywhere tonight. His father picking up the ball from distance and shooting wide, dragging the shot wide. I think it was Ustabasi. Can't see the number on his shirt, but it looks like him to me, and he's wandered back out to this right hand side. He's snatched a little bit at his couple of efforts that he's had in the second half. In the first half he got a shot away which Dewhurst saved with his legs, and maybe, just maybe, here and there in the odd player in the Fylde body language we're starting to see a slight disappointment, but they will keep battling away. Here's Dewhurst with the kick, headed on by Lang, headed back by Evans, headed the other way by Aaron Jones. Then Kai Corbett sends a ball out to the left hand side, and Kwame Thomas is quickly onto it, holds it up, he'll go back to Corbett. Corbett tries the early cross, Aaron Jones is well up there, heads it down into the path of James Henry. Oh, and he just drags his shot wide, and such has been the quality of James Henry's finishing this year. You were almost waiting for the net to bulge, weren't you?
Yeah, he dragged it deliberately over to that far post, past Winterbottom, but also past the far post. Only by a matter of inches though. And again, excellent work from Kai Corbett. I think he's been brilliant in an unfamiliar left wing back position this evening.
His big header from the back from Ellison, and then Theo Widrington competes for it. But Fylde got it. Massey is surging forward out to the left-hand side where he'll find Tyler Roberts. Roberts with the ball back to Massey. And now Evans picks it up. Goes back to Roberts on the left-hand side. Inside to Massey again. He comes up against Theo Widrington. There's a ball into the penalty area and Hugill sends it across the goal. And behind the goal, for an Aldershot Town goal kick, Ellison going in there bravely with him. Goal kick to the Shots when we get going again, and some strong shouts from the Shots management bench. Don't know if you can hear what they're saying, Steve.
I can't, no, but it looks like, judging by the numbers that Richard Dryden is holding up, it looks like either suggesting that
it's something to do with the numbers at the back, I think.
Yeah, is it a 4 maybe, going back to a 4? Possibly. Ryan Jones is getting stripped off and is about to enter the action, so that might be a preemptive change with his arrival imminent. But I think Dan Ellison did really well there to block off Hugill's path to goal. A good run from the Fylde player, but I think the angle was maybe a little bit tight once he'd received the ball.
Another good header from Ellison that comes back in from Mitchell. It's cleared then towards touch and hits the roof of the south stand. Into touch, throw into Fylde, taken back down the left-hand side. Mitchell picks it up, the quarterback, if you like, in this Fylde side. He carries on the run down the left-hand side. Aldershot nick it. Henry sends it forward. It's cleared away by Harry Davis. Picked up by Owen Evans, who stumbles over, trying to clear it forward. The ball trickles over the touch line, and there's a substitute being readied. Certainly for Aldershot, and a response also from Fylde. It looks to me from the board as if Ryan Jones is going to come on for James Henry, the goal scorer. Is Aldershot making their way down the right hand side. The ball finds touch off Max Mullin, so it'll be a throw in to Fylde in the left back position. And now we're going to have that Aldershot substitution, and I think you're going to get some generous applause for James Henry, who's completed an hour of this one, an effective hour. He came off rather forlorn on Saturday up at Rochdale, but in the midweek match at Wealdstone last week he came on to good effect. Today he goes off having had good effect, and either way the quality of the man shines through.
Absolutely, yeah, he's been not at his best overall this evening. Maybe not the right type of game for him, but he's had the finishing quality when it's mattered, and now Fylde are responding with a triple sub of their own.
Riley's coming on, Boatswain is coming on. So first off is Hugill. He's being replaced by Riley. I wouldn't take too much notice of the players that come off for them on. There's generally an idea to try and cause confusion with that.
Yes.
With that. Next coming off is Ustabasi. He is going to be replaced by Lincoln McFadden.
Yeah, he plays anywhere down the left-hand side.
And finally, coming off is Gav Massey, and he's going to be replaced by Ashley Boatswain.
Who's an attacker, striker, number 10, can play on the right flank as well. So yeah, I think the upshot is more chaos, more attack-minded players from AFC Fylde to try and get themselves back into this game.
Shots 1, Fylde 0, and we're in the 62nd minute. 3 substitutions.
72nd, sorry.
Beg your pardon, what's that?
72nd.
Beg your pardon. 72nd minute. No, 62nd. We're gonna. Oh no, yeah, you're right.
The clocks went forward on Sunday, Rob.
I know. I still got to adjust for that. We do have, more importantly,
26 plus 45.
Let's do it the other way. There's 18 minutes left. Fylde supporters might wish there was longer, but as Brian Clough used to say, it only takes a second to score a goal. Here they clear it forward. Ellison cushions his header back to Keane Anderson, who what a ball out to the left side to get Ryan Jones in. He's just inside the penalty area, tries to get a cross away. That's blocked. by Sassy, and into touch, throw into the shots, but the vision and the execution of the pass again from Keane Anderson, excellent. He had his best game for me in a Shots shirt away at Wealdstone last Tuesday, and certainly for me his best game in a Shots shirt at the EBB tonight so far.
He's been absolutely superb. A youngster who's got a huge bright future.
Throw-ins taken from Jones to Corbett. Corbett gives it back to Jones, who feeds Theo Widrington. Corbett gives it back to Ryan Jones, tries to drill it in. That's cut behind by Sassy for a corner, and the Shots have only had 2 or 3 corners themselves this afternoon. Come on you Reds, bellow out from the East Bank, coming round to the North Stand, and it's the Shots that lead with a corner now from Corbett, and it's cleared away by the goalkeeper underneath the bar, under pressure from 1 or 2 Shots players. Keane Anderson's going to hook a ball back in. That one's headed away, headed on, and then Horton volleys it over his head, and one of the substitutes, Lincoln McFadden, gets there, but it comes off him and goes in to touch. So 3 substitutes, 3 lots of fresh legs on the pitch for Fylde, just the 1 for the Shots so far. They've also got Van Stappershoef, Hargreaves, Barrett, Barham, Armitage and Uwakwe that they can bring on. Barrett's just come back from a little warm-up. Aldershot have got it, Keane Anderson, and just bubbled up, and now Fylde send it straight through the middle. Dewhurst should get there to clear it away, and does. Mullins is going to challenge for it. He gets a touch on it to keep it in play. Aaron Jones steps onto the loose ball, and then a foul given away by Sassy. Mitchell doesn't like it, Sassy doesn't like it. Little show of dissent from Mitchell, and the referee did spot it, and he's going to show a yellow card now to Mitchell, who puts a finger up as if to say that's the first time I've offended all evening or something, but he just couldn't control his dissent, could he?
No. If it's bad enough, it doesn't matter if it's your first or your 15th. You still deserve a yellow card, and yeah, I was surprised that Sassy didn't get something as well. He was very, very outwardly showing dissent. Sassy was a little bit too sassy, you might say.
Boom. You're here all week.
Unfortunately for everybody else, I am.
Right, Aldershot Town free kick, 7 or 8 yards inside the Fylde half, out on their Aldershot's left-hand side. Ryan Jones is going to take it, and we're into the 76th minute. That is away by Fylde, hooked on and up in the air, headed on by Horton, and he'll now get on to the knockdown from Boatswain, and he beats one player and then runs out of pitch, but Corbett does well coming back. Keane Anderson flicks it up in the air and sends it forward. It's headed back as far as Theo Widrington. Corbett jumps a little bit unsighted. Fylde volley it forward. Dewhurst doesn't know whether to come or not, and it's headed towards goal. What a clearance by Levi Lang, who ends up in the net himself. It's a corner to Fylde. Dewhurst just didn't know whether to come out or not. When he did, he was prone to the lob. The lob came in from Boatswain, and Levi Lang has just had his best moment in an Aldershot Town shirt. He read what was on, flew back towards his own goal, cleared it behind for the corner, and ended up in the back of the net himself. Steve Gibbs.
Yeah, fantastic clearance, tracking back, giving it everything, straining every sinew to get that ball. Some concern now that Marcus Dewhurst has come off worst in that clash, and he was caught between 2 stools a little bit, whether to should he stay on his line, should he go and win it. In the end he got nowhere in between, but bailed out by his defensive colleague there, Levi Lang. I think if anyone remembers a fantastic clearance that James Milner made for Liverpool a few years ago, it was somewhere along the lines of that.
Yellow card to the Fylde management bench. I think it goes against the manager, whoever it was. So I think it will go against David Longwell, but I'm not sure what it was for or why. Anyway, corner to Fylde, more importantly, who trail with just 12 minutes left. In comes the corner, is cleared away by the head of Luca Woodhouse. Ryan Jones can't see where the loose ball's gone. They send it up in the air, back towards his own goal, headed away by Ellison. Off the pit, off the ball, Corbett is taken down, but the referee can't have eyes everywhere. Fylde have still got the ball, back heel from Horton, into the path of Sassy, and then Mitchell comes forward and heads it over the bar. He was right in that he needed a deft header, but it went too high behind the goal. And Steve, as we go into the last 11 and a half, 12 minutes plus added time, it remains shots 1-5-0.
Yeah, needed a more deft glancing header. I think he knew what he was doing, Mitchell, he just didn't have the execution. He wanted a real glancer across the face of goal into the top corner at the beyond Marcus Dewhurst. In the end, it smacked him on the forehead and went high and wide and not particularly handsome. And two of those regular starters, finishers this evening, Barham and Barrett, they're about to come on for the shots.
Here's Theo Witherington sending the ball forward. It's headed back to Winterbottom, who's got it under control now. We've had a chaotic game. It's going to have a chaotic finish. It has to, because Fylde can't just pack up and go home with nothing from this game. They've got to keep fighting to get one, if not two goals to add to their points tally. Here's Ryan Jones running onto a ball, picking it up, another little touch, plays it into Kwame Thomas, heavy touch from him. Now he's battling just to keep it in play, and he does so. And he goes back to Maxi Mullins to Ryan Jones. What a player to come on. Fresh leg with his quick feet. Here he is getting the ball again, going to the byline, tries to get the cross in, it's deflected behind. It'll be another corner to the Shots, who are going to bring on now Josh Barrett, the top goal scorer, and Jack Barham, who's in double figures himself.
Yeah, and Ryan Jones has already made an impact defensively and attack wise as well. He's such a valuable player in this shot system. He's probably, more than anybody, he's the player that can turn defence into attack in an instant with those quick feet, that hard work, that skill.
Corner to the Shots, and it comes from Corbett to the far post. It's claimed by the goalkeeper Winterbottom. He immediately kicks it forward. Aaron Jones positions himself well, wins the header. Theo Witherington plays it into a lovely position for Ryan Jones, who sends it out to Corbett on the left side. Corbett is running up against Sassy. He's into the area, he's trying to make room for a shot. Oh, it's a brilliant save at the last moment from Winterbottom. And watch the ball almost into the goal, and then the left hand of Winterbottom came out. Wonderful save. Corner to the Shots. They may make these substitutions now, we'll have to wait and see, but what a save from Ben Winterbottom. He's kept his side in it.
It looked like it was going to swerve away from him into that far corner. Brilliant from Kai Corbett, who I think has been excellent this evening. Drifted inside, you could see exactly what he was going to do, but stopping it is something else entirely. Shots have taken the corner quickly.
In it comes, the far post over everybody. Luca Woodhouse is striding over to try and keep it in play. He comes back to Keane Anderson. Anderson's going to send it right back into the area. It's headed away. Ryan Jones competing for it over on the far side with Joe Riley. Aaron Jones tries to hook it forward, but it finds touch on halfway. Throw in to Fylde. And we've got 8.5 minutes left, and Fylde are going to make two more substitutions. Tyler Roberts is coming off. Ormerod, who went off on loan for a bit earlier in the season and then came back, is going to come on. Roberts is actually being replaced by Bryce Hosanna. It's literally the last throw of the dice now by David Longwell.
It is, but it's a straight swap. Hosanna, probably a right back by most renown, but can play most wide positions on left and right. And it's
Owen Evans who's going to come off for Ormerod.
Yeah, he's probably going to play on the left hand side, but he's more attack minded than Evans.
It's going to be all hands to the deck now for Fylde. They're going to push and push and push and try and get a point, all three, out of this game if they can. Now Shots are going to make their substitutions, and Barham and Barrett are going to come on. So initially Barham is coming on for Aaron Jones, the Shots skipper. So I'm not quite sure what the change will be. He passes on the armband to Theo Widrington, certainly taking no chances with the Shots skipper, who did reach the back of his leg earlier in the game, but delighted to say he's played on for 15 minutes since then. And the other change is Kai Corbett coming off for Josh Barrett, and an excellent evening for Kai Corbett.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. I think he's one of the players that's in the mix for man of the match, and it looks like
generous applause from
Jones, deservedly so.
He really has some. I think the biggest compliment we can pay Kai Corbett tonight is he looked like a natural on the left hand side there. His close control's been good, his work rate's been good, and he was very, very close to putting the game almost to bed for Shots here in these inside these last 10 minutes. We've got 6.5 left now. There's a knockdown and an effort towards goal by Fylde. Two Shots players collide with each other, and Dewhurst watches the ball go behind. It will be a corner to Fylde. He then realises the Fylde players there ready to take it pretty quickly. Ashley Boatswain,
I think.
I know he is now, but Dewhurst went scampering off back into his goal, wondering if there's a possibility that Fylde might take it quickly. Aaron Jones is still walking around the pitch, pointing out that the ball's just outside the quadrant. Horton floats it in, Ellison heads it away. It's picked up by Ormerod on the left hand side. He's up against Theo Widrington. Combination of Lang and Widrington have disarmed him, but the clearance forward can only find Riley as Cam Hargreaves waits to come into the fray as well. Good 1-2. They're in on the left side, Fylde, and the shot comes right across goal and away behind the goal. Goal kick to the Shots, and Steve, we've got 5.5 minutes plus whatever's added, and Cam Hargreaves is next into the fray.
Yeah, that was an excellent run. Was it Riley?
I think it was, yeah.
With the gloves, number 40.
Yeah.
Ghosted into the Aldershot town penalty area. From this angle, it looked like that shot whipped across goal, aiming for the far corner, was not too far away. According to the fourth official, Cameron Hargreaves is replacing himself. There were two number 7s on there momentarily. One of the 7s has been corrected to a 6. So it'll be Hargreaves for Widrington in the centre of midfield.
A lot of Shots' usual starters are playing the finishing role tonight, and they've got 4.5 minutes plus whatever's added to try and see this one out. Dewhurst with the goal kick, 1-0 to the Shots. Ball played up towards Barham. He manages to hook it up in the air, and then it's headed forward. It'll come back in from Hargreaves, heads it out to the right hand side. Fylde send it over the top. Woodhouse stumbles but recovers well and clears it to a position where Keane Anderson can pick it up. He volleys it forward towards halfway. It doesn't need to be pretty for the Shots right now. It's just a battle. Kwame Thomas wins the header, ends up in the floor. The referee needs to just check that he's okay. He's gone down rather awkwardly there. He's holding his head. I just quite see whether he mainly perhaps headed the ball and then caught a little bit of the man as well. From Fylde's point of view, it's just frustration after frustration, isn't it? They were so good in the first half. In truth, they've struggled to make clear-cut efforts in the second half, but they've never stopped battling. They've used all 16 players that they can use this evening, and they're still searching for a goal late on here that might just get them a point to take home to the northwest. Here's a ball over the top for Barham to chase. It'll bounce once and disappear behind the goal away to our left at the East Bank end. Guy Owen says, how can we watch the game against Woking? Is it on TV anyway? Yeah, you just purchase it through the NLTV channel. That's where it's going to be on Saturday. It's a sellout, 7,400 I think. Be Aldershot's biggest crowd for years. I need to look up when that is actually.
I think the biggest since the FA Cup tie against Brighton and Hove Albion some 25 years ago. I think it will be larger than the Manchester United League Cup tie. I think it's 7,100 is the capacity officially for Saturday, and that will be marginally higher than the Manchester United game. So second in the all-time history of Aldershot Town attendances.
Keane Anderson arrives a little bit late on Horton, just on the edge of the centre circle. It's a free kick to Fylde, and they just announced the official Aldershot Town man of the match, and it was given to the shots keeper Marcus Dewhurst, who at the moment has a clean sheet, and he has 2 minutes plus added time to hold on to it with the help, of course, of his teammates. Here's Fylde, 1-2 on the left-hand side, ball up to Ormerod, who very deft touch. Isn't enough really for Fylde. Mullins is there, he's looking as if he's going to go the 90, holds it up, plays it down the left side. Lovely touch from Keane Anderson, I thought it was, but it actually ran through in the end to the Fylde player. Ormerod picks it up, ball played forward, offside given against Fylde. Not knowing that was Dan Ellison, who headed the ball away again for probably the 20th time this evening. He's been colossus there in the middle of the shots back three. A word too also for young centre-back Levi Lang, who's had a really difficult introduction to his shots career. He made his debut 3 games ago and shots were 3-0 down at half-time. Had a pretty torrid time up at Rochdale as well. But I think in this game he's grown into the role, into the position, and he's had an outstandingly good second half.
He has, yeah, he looks really strong, really committed. Clearly a player of good pedigree. But yeah, still making his way in senior men's football, and he's looked really strong this evening. And
he's won it again in the air there with a Fylde player either side of him. Kwame Thomas can't hold it up, shuts down the Fylde player but can't prevent the pass. Ormerod plays it all the way back to Davis. Davis to Whelan. Whelan's under pressure. Barham's coming across and Davis sends it forward up towards Boatswain, who holds it well and turns and sends it out to the left side. He's just been impeded by Keane Anderson as he does so. The pass didn't come off, but the free kick has been given, and just about everybody goes forward for Fylde with the exception of the goalkeeper Ben Winterbottom, and then they suddenly say, well, 1 or 2 has got to stay back here. In fact, Barham's now tracking Hosanna. No, Jones is going to mark him, so Barham can come away. We're going to have 6 added minutes here at the EBB. Fylde desperate for something to take home to the northwest. Otherwise they're going to be deeper in trouble in the bottom 4 in the National League. Horton stands over it. It's dead central. It's 45 yards out. He's got to clip it up and over the top, surely. Not much of a run up. He does so. He clips it forward. Lang puts his foot up to try and clear the ball, and it goes behind the goal away to our right, and the corner's been given. I didn't think Lang made any contact with it myself. Maybe somebody else did. Either way, it's a corner, and there's some pushing and shoving going on the edge of the bus stop queue, where it's the most congested one I've seen all season. There's 6 players from either side stood about a yard inside the penalty area, central, and it's been chaotic all night, and that's what Fylde want to try and benefit from, a little bit of chaos here. Horton takes the free kick into the air, it's headed up in the air, Fylde player goes down, lands rather heavily, it goes behind the goal, a goal kick's been given. Sassy's got up again, the shots player is still down, and I can't even see who it is, Steve, but
no, the referee has signalled to the Aldershot Town bench that treatment is not required, but is it Keane? Might be Keane Anderson.
No, I can see Keane Anderson. I can see Keane Anderson. Is it Luca Woodhouse? I think it is, it's Luca Woodhouse. He eventually gets to his feet. And I think maybe he's just said to the referee, I'm just a bit groggy, I just need a few seconds.
Yeah, I think he went up for a strong aerial challenge, a bit of a buffeting. Hopefully not a clash of heads or anything too serious, and he's back up and gingerly making his way back to the halfway line.
Dewhurst with a huge goal kick. Kwame Thomas jumps, can't win it. Hargreaves sticks out a foot. It's briefly played forward, then it's sent through the middle, and Woodhouse has to leave it in the end for Marcus Dewhurst. It just has enough on it. Ryan Jones wants it short. Dewhurst thinks, do you know what? There really isn't very long left. We've got 3.5 minutes of a minimum of 6 added left. I'm going to send this ball right down the other end. Just delays with his kick, then goes again. Kwame Thomas steps forward. It's over him. Barham jumps, tries to get a little flick. The ball drops nicely for Kwame Thomas. And then Hosanna comes through and smashes it into touch, just as Ryan Jones was thinking about a quick touch. He actually made the right decision, let him smash it into touch, buy a bit of time, buy a bit of territory. Shots 1, Fylde 0. Woking have got level against Rochdale with a Harry Beautyman pen. Could be another critical, crucial point for Woking. Here Kwame Thomas holding the ball up, goes back to Barham to Ryan Jones, skips past one, he's taking the ball now to the corner flag, holds it up, gets a buffeting from behind. Fylde clear it, it'll find touch, and it'll be another throw to the Shots. Wealdstone have beaten Boston 1-0. I'm pretty sure that means they will jump over Boston. Boston will be dragged back into the bottom 4 again. Fylde, as it stands, are staying right where they were. Here's Aldershot looking to see if they can put this one to bed. Keane Anderson drills a ball out to the left. Kwame Thomas gets a little flick on, the ball goes into touch. Fylde claim the throw. It's given to Aldershot. Scrappy, and scrappier. 2 added minutes left. Shots 1, Fylde 0, and the Shots heading towards a 53rd point of the season at the moment, but still the battle goes on for Fylde. They hook it clear up towards halfway, and Boatswain beats Keane Anderson in the air, but then Mullins, who's now I think playing in that right wing back position for Aaron Jones, clears it forward. Fylde clear to touch, throw into Aldershot. Horton goes and gets the ball. He'll be frustrated, Fylde will be frustrated. They started the game like a house on fire, but they couldn't break the Shots goal down. A couple of good saves from Dewhurst, one with his legs. A couple went high, a couple went wide. The Shots stayed in the game, and they got themselves ahead through James Henry just before half time. Kwame Thomas is battling out there again. I don't know where he's finding the energy to get 90 minutes from. He hasn't had too many of them in his Ebbsfleet time this season.
No.
It's a throw in to Shots on the right hand side. Josh Barrett is preparing to take it. I'm looking over at the stopwatch, which says that we've got just over a minute and a half of the added time left. Barrett's just keeping the ball, almost gives it away, finds Hargreaves sends it inside to Ryan Jones. Good idea, that threads the ball through the middle. It's headed away. Barrett might get onto it, and he does, and he scores. The number 10 at the East Bank end loves a bouncing ball, loves a lob, loves a finish high into the net, and he's removed all doubt here. The Shots have doubled their lead in the 95th minute of 96. Aldershot Town 2, Fylde 0.
Brilliant from Josh Barrett. You could see exactly what he was going to do as the ball dropped to him. One touch on the chest, a volley, Winterbottom got a hand to it, but he can only help it on its way into the net. Superb from Josh Barrett. Shots have not been at their best by any means this evening, but they've done enough, done more than enough to secure the 3 points and send them in good spirits, good heart, good form. Bounce back from the embarrassment at Rochdale on Saturday, or not embarrassment, the heavy defeat at Rochdale on Saturday. And now, finally, can we start thinking about the game on Saturday?
Not for another minute or two yet, please, Steve. Ellison wins his umpteenth header of the evening. Hargreaves hooks the ball on. Sassy hooks it over his head. Keane Anderson jumps bravely and wins the header. Horton sends the ball out to the left-hand side. Ellison clears up to halfway. Barham jumps, can't win it cleanly. Hargreaves is onto it, almost finds Kwame Thomas through the middle. He claims handball, nothing given, but Mullins has burst onto the ball, plays it into the middle. He was looking for Hargreaves, nothing given by the ref. Hargreaves appeals, but he's not going to get anywhere. Fylde clear it forward. Lang comes underneath it, can't win it cleanly. Horton's onto the ball, turns back on himself, twists one way then the other, sends a ball out to the right hand side. It's headed on by Sassy into the path of Bryce Hosanna. Strong shoulder barge from Luca Woodhouse, and somehow, some way, the Shots have battled their way through this game. There is the final whistle. The Shots take home the points. Fylde will make the long journey back to the northwest with nothing, no goals, no points, and the Shots move on to the FA Trophy semi-final on Saturday on the back of a 2-0 win here at the EBB, which takes them to 53 points for the season. Steve Gibbs.
Deserved win in the end for Aldershot Town. Josh Barrett's finish was the icing on the cake, but otherwise it was a hard-working, strong, solid, combative performance from the Shots, and it had to be, because Fylde, valiant in defeat, threw everything they could at Aldershot Town, but once again found wanting at either end of the pitch, and that's been the story of their season. Not taking chances, not scoring enough goals, but letting in unfortunate soft goals at the other end, and that's what you'd say James Henry's first half effort was. Found a little bit too much space, a little bit of a defensive lapse, and suddenly they were behind after a really positive first half where they'd have been hoping to at least go in to half time with a bit of optimism, but then suddenly they find themselves behind. It's another uphill climb for Fylde. Josh Barrett's goal in the end. Aldershot Town didn't need it, but boy did they enjoy it. And now, finally please, can we start thinking about Saturday?
We certainly can, Steve. I'm just watching a replay. Thanks, Gina Ballston. That's a lovely take from Josh Barrett. No real chance for Winterbottom, who got a hand to it. Yes, Steve, I think we officially can. But I've got to say, I feel for Fylde. They started the game superbly, and they were really unlucky not to lead. But fair play to the Shots for staying in the game, forging the lead just before half time, and then sealing the deal just before full time. But I've been so impressed by the attitude of every player that started and finished for Aldershot Town tonight in a game where they could have gone AWOL, they could have been lacking, and thanks to the mentality of the management, they were never going to do it, they were never allowed to, and they never did.
Well, I'm sure some of the part of the motivational messages this evening from the management team would have been, if you want to play on Saturday, show it this evening, earn your place in that team. Because if you look like you don't care tonight, then I don't care about you playing on Saturday, whoever that is. I don't think anybody is entirely exempt from that attitude. That yes, there are some players that you would expect to start and be surprised if they didn't on Saturday. But if you don't perform tonight, you maybe have to watch from the bench on Saturday. And every Aldershot Town player this evening looks like they've come out of it unscathed, and hopefully Aaron Jones is okay, and it will give Tommy Widrington some really happy headaches over the next few days of who starts and who's waiting to come on in one of Aldershot Town's biggest matches for many years. And that has got to be, it's huge credit to every member of the squad, and also huge credit to Tommy and the players for treating this evening's game with the conviction and seriousness that it demanded. Because otherwise, as you said, if they hadn't come into this game 100%, Fylde could very easily have punished them.
Right, one more question on tonight, and then we'll do a little look ahead to Saturday. But I'm going to throw a few names at you because I think you've got a difficult job tonight. I think there are so many little positive mentions for so many players, even if some of them were cameo appearances. But I think we waxed lyrical all evening about Anderson and about Corbett when he was on the pitch. I think Levi Lang had an excellent second half. The other two defenders were pretty composed throughout. Ellison won everything in the air. Yeah. Kwame Thomas was a rampaging bull up top. And Max Mullins, wherever he played, was everywhere. Good luck to you picking a man of the match out of that lot.
I think because he was generally excellent in a very unfamiliar position, and it was a little moment of brilliance that created the opportunity for James Henry to score the crucial opening goal. I think it's Aldershot Town's number 9, but he didn't play anywhere near that number 9 position. He was left wing back and wherever else you wanted him. Congratulations to Kai Corbett.
Yep, well done. Thank you, Steve. Right, let's clear our heads and take a little look ahead to Saturday. So, on Saturday at 12:30, Steve, Aldershot will play in what unquestionably is one of their biggest, if not their biggest games since the formation of the new club.
Absolutely.
They stand one game away from Wembley. They've previously been a couple of games away, haven't they, in the FA Trophy against Hednesford and against Ebbsfleet, where they somehow concocted, failed, if you like, whatever, to progress from that stage. But on this occasion, 90 minutes and penalties are what stand between them and Wembley, and the small matter of Woking.
Absolutely, yeah. It's set up for an absolute classic in front of a sellout crowd. Probably only the second time since 1992 that this grand old lady of North East Hampshire football, the recreation ground, the Ebb Stadium, will have been sold out. Even Manchester United couldn't sell this ground out. Brighton have, back in 2000, and now Woking have. And what a fantastic occasion awaits us at lunchtime on Saturday. A febrile atmosphere, I'm sure. And the one thing that you hope, and it's so often not the case, that the match matches the occasion. That Aldershot Town have a sorry habit of underperforming on the biggest occasions. That you'd hope they give a really strong account of themselves. I'd make them marginal favourites. I don't think either team can claim to be really strong favourites. They know that even aside from it being a local derby and everything that will entail, that will add extra levels to an already supercharged atmosphere of an FA Trophy semi-final with a place at Wembley for the winners. If the game matches the occasion, we'll be in for a thrilling, breathless encounter for the ages.
If Aldershot will go into the game buoyed by their win and their performance here tonight, what about Woking with that late penalty equaliser against Rochdale, who put Aldershot to the sword on Saturday? Another vital point for Ardley, whose team have only been beaten 3 times since he started.
Yeah, that's
over 20 games.
And he's got that experience of taking a team through the playoffs, through cup competitions. He knows what it's like to get to the later stages, to those real crunch games, the games that players talk about they want to play in. And that's maybe where Woking have the edge. They've got players who have played at the National Stadium. They've got a manager who's been there and done it in knockout competitions. Aldershot Town maybe don't quite have that experience. I don't think even James Henry has played at the National Stadium. But getting there is one thing, and having the experience of playing there, but I think you need those calm heads. You need the experience and the quality when, in the freneticism and the chaos and the aggression of a local derby, you need somebody who can put their foot on the ball, pick a pass, open up the opposition defence, and that could be the decisive moment in the game. We hope that the occasion matches the game matches the occasion, but also that ultimately the best team wins, and that it is a brilliant advert for the two towns, that we're talking about football and nothing but football come 2:30 on Saturday, and remembering what a brilliant atmosphere this was, because sometimes this rivalry, as with so many others, has spilled over. We don't want that, but what we do want is a classic encounter, and all you can say is may the best team win.
Absolutely. Honours even so far this year, of course, after the draw on Boxing Day, and the two sides will meet again at the Laithwaite on Easter Monday. But Saturday is what we're all thinking about and what we're all talking about now. Join us live on BBC Surrey from 12 on Saturday, and we'll take you all the way through to the finish. Whatever it is, whoever prevails, whoever takes with them the ultimate bragging rights to the Arch in North London. That's it for tonight. Aldershot Town 2, Fylde 0. The shots go up to 53 points now for the season. We will mention they've also gone to a second half of the season high of 12th place in the National League this evening. At the other end, a crucial point for Woking leaves them on 46 points. Wealdstone out of the bottom four now on 45. Dagenham on 43. And then comes your bottom four. Boston on 43. Fylde on 39. Maidenhead on 38 and Ebbsfleet on 19. So that means now that Fylde are 4 points off it, and a minus 27 goal difference. They've got it all to do in their final 6 games. But that's it from me and Steve for tonight. Thanks for joining us wherever you've joined us from, and we'll speak to you again for the big one on Saturday.